recorded drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets. When I'm performing, never boring, now you can't afford it. Champagne Perrier, finished friends on my face. Looking like I'm from the deep, these no Cartiers. Pockets deep, 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 bro. I can make it in my seat, bro. Do you, I'm doing me, bro. Making noise, use a beat, bro. Whoa, whoa. I press the button and the doors go up like, whoa. That money clip us now, the new now looks like, whoa. Upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like, whoa, 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 whoa. Neighborhood on the scene, neighborhood on the strip. Neighborhood be the name, neighborhood no crib. Neighborhood that's me, neighborhood that's Nick. Neighborhood do the dance, neighborhood do the deal. Okay, thought I'd never make it like no way. I'm the real deal, no role play. My days off, that's no days. No, I hustle hard, young rose. E be the shooter, that's cold case. Those on the deals, that's brose. Got no pay, on no say. Okay, this the news, tell them read it. Been the one since the fetus. Don't sleep on me, Tempur-Pedic. That's a no, no, no. Spending dope for no reason. Got a ball head, Mr. Cleaner. Heard the big bags overseas, then we gon' go, go, go. Whoa, I press the button and the doors go off like, whoa. That money clip us now, the new now looks like, whoa. Upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like, whoa, 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 whoa. I press the button and the doors go off like, whoa. That money clip us now, the new now looks like, whoa. Upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Best of Racing here, season 46. It's time for the finale, the Cadillac XTS Limousine. Let's get the party started. It's Tuesday night, Forza Motorsport Spec Racing here live on Twitch TV. Let's get it going. AMS Storm now here on lap number 34 of 34, jumps into the top spot. And here comes Maverick now, going to make a run to the inside. Drex perhaps missing his mark. Hello, race fans. Welcome to Next Venture Live on Twitch TV. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. And thanks for spending a little bit of time with me here on a Tuesday. Well, I guess if I'm saying good morning, if it happens to be morning for you, it's definitely not Tuesday. It would be Wednesday. But either way, thanks for coming over to this corner of the Twitch universe, hanging out, and eventually going to see Week 5 racing action, our 9th race of the season, take place out at Suzuka, the full circuit in the dry, 37 laps around the track, all 3.61 miles of the track from turn 1 all the way to, you've got the hairpin, you've got Spoon, you've got turn 15, you go through Casio Triangle, back toward the start-finish line. Should be a good one. Speaking of good, kind of, I suppose depends on which side of things you stand. If you happen to be LS Subaru, who is vying for not only the 5th championship overall in his stint with the Forza Spec Racing Series, but the 5th straight championship in a row, certainly might have been looking to come into this 5th and final week with the championship already locked in. That is not the case. That can be attributed to a back in week number 2, the second race of the evening, what would be race number 4 of the entire schedule, had that DNF out at Silverstone, costing LS Subaru 47 points. Instead, only gets 3. And while week number 2 currently stands as LS Subaru's worst week in terms of total points, which means in this current picture that you see right here, it is not factored in to the championship point total. Depending on what happens tonight, that could be a very, very important piece of the puzzle. Should LS Subaru lose grip of the championship, and I've done it again. I just realized I've done it again. I've skipped the W in Audrex's name there. Audrex currently sitting second overall in total championship points, 274, 272 for Crate Trim, Onion Too Many Eyes at 253, 241 for Cuda 93, Patches Riley at 238, 200 for Slow Motion Fire, Test at 196, 154 for Modern, and Fear the Fun at 137. I know what the problem is that the top 4 didn't change from week number 3, and therefore Audrex's name did not change since we last looked at this leaderboard at week number 3. Yes, Adrex. Adrex has entered the chat. LS Subaru. Speaking of chat, LS Subaru is here. SDR Onion. Too Many Eyes is here. Big J Bishop, otherwise known as Fear the Fun, is here. Slow Motion Fire is here. If there's anybody else out there in the pit lane, as I like to call it, the Twitch chat, if you're watching, you're lurking, whatever the case may be, feel free to drop a hello there in the chat at the very least. If you don't want to do that, I completely understand. But, I'd like to make things a little bit more exciting and engaging here on the channel. And sometimes that means me having to default to the chat to get our dose of entertainment. Here's where we're going, I guess. I mean, it is week 5, so really we've come to the end of the road here. And really what this screen tells us is where we've been. All the way from Hockenheimring, that very first race, that 15-lapper, which turned out to be a marvelous race and really kind of got me thinking, wow, the limousine may not be that bad after all. Maple Valley, which was an exciting race in and of itself. Homestead, the oval, that was fun. Silverstone, Bernese Alps, Lime Rock Full, Watkins Glen, the short circuit, Rio de Janeiro mini circuit in reverse, which was the end of our 2-race per week program that is weeks 1 through 4, and brings us here to our endurance event tonight. 37 laps out at Suzuka Full. How will tire wear and fuel factor in to this race? I did see Fear the Fun there in the chat a moment ago. Fear the Fun has dropped out of the chat now at this point, so maybe we won't be talking to anybody prior to the race getting kicked off. But if there are any drivers who'd like to have a quick word, I promise Slow Motion Fire. All right, don't give me a hard time. I will keep it brief so that we can get into the racing action here tonight. Not too far off the top of the hour, which we have just hit. And there is no qualifying here in week number 5. They've done away with that over the last, 8 to 10 seasons. Pardon me. Whew. I have nobody to toss it to when I've got a sneeze coming on. There we go. Freshly shaven. Yeah, I took a week off of work last week, and the beard started growing in, and so in my return back to the workplace, the real workplace, not the fun, wonderful workplace that I have here in the evenings on Tuesdays, but the real deal workplace, I figured, let me go ahead and get all cleaned up. So yeah, actually, I take it back. It's all in preparation for tonight's week 5 finale. The championship is up for grabs. We're going to crown a winner. We're going to go into season 47 wondering which vehicle will LS Subaru ultimately pick, because they are going back to that format here in the Forza Spec Racing Series, allowing our championship driver, or the driver who wins the championship here in season 46, to pick the vehicle for season 47. By the way, this might have been the first and only, and maybe never again, entire season that shows up and is played out over the course of just one singular month. Yeah, we started this joyride here in the month of June, at the very beginning of the month, May. We're about to go into June. Started at the beginning of May, and here we are on the very last 31st day of the month, concluding things all 5 weeks. That can't possibly happen. That can't possibly happen. Fear the Fun says in Discord, someone do an interview. You were there, Fear. Where did you go? Patches Riley says, where will Subaru qualify? Well, Subaru is already qualified at the very back of the pack because it is the finale here. As I mentioned, they've done away with the qualifying in week number 5, and rather it is in reverse grid order based on current championship points total. So LS Subaru says we need a predictor. Fair enough. Okay, let's get a predictor going here before the race gets started. I see almost all the drivers have readied up in the lobby. So let's see. What should our predictor be? Where will LS Subaru finish at Suzuka? First, second, third, or fourth, or worse, as one singular option. We'll go ahead and run this sucker for 30 minutes. Use your channel points. Use them wisely, or don't. Just use them. Use them as you wish. Go all in if you'd like. The points really have no monetary value here. Every once in a while, I do use them to receive entries into giveaways that we not oftentimes, at least not as of late, that I from time to time offer here on the channel. But those are always, in terms of like getting entries, it's always able to, you're always easily able to rack up those points again just by watching the channel to enter those giveaways when they do happen. So no worries if you go all in and then you're like, oh gosh, there's that giveaway that Dustin's doing some point down the road, and you're like, I wasted all my channel points. Well, as long as you're watching the channel, you should have, again, enough to get in. It's morally acceptable gambling, says LS Subaru. Yes. You have nothing at risk, really. I mean, these are... I think I've told LS Subaru they're worth 1/1,000,000th of a penny. Maybe even less than that, but you can't exchange them. As Twitch will tell you, they hold no monetary value. They cannot be exchanged for any currency here on Earth, on Mars, or elsewhere. So, what are you really gambling? Figments of your imagination. Who else is here? We've got Patches Riley, who I mentioned. Where will Subaru qualify? We're not doing the qualifying thing. Kratrim here says, what lap will Fear's game crash? There you go. I feel like Fear backed out of the driver's spotlight because then he remembered, oh yes, Dustin's going to give me a hard time about my internet connection here, and decided to back out. All right, we've got the countdown here in the lobby ready to go. Enough of my babbling, yeah? It's going to be Fear the Fun and Test on row number 1. That doesn't quite make sense. I'm a little uncertain as to how Fear the Fun is on row number 1. I'll just let it be. And maybe Fear the Fun is the lowest championship point holder entering this race if none of the other drivers beneath Fear the Fun on the leaderboard are in fact in the lobby. I didn't look. All right, here they are. Well, that was quick. Kick the tires, light the fires. Perhaps the finale here. Season 46 underway with Fear the Fun out in front, heading into turn number 1. That's going to be heading into turn number 2, which is then followed by the S's 3, 4, 5, and 6 before you hit turn number 7, Dunlop. And I think they're going for it. Perhaps what there may have been in place, if I'm remembering correctly, they may have also had a staggered release in place, and so Fear the Fun wanted to go as soon as possible, so that as the countdown for each of the drivers behind him reached its endpoint, that he wasn't losing ground. And so Fear the Fun now taking them through turn 8. Degner out of 9 underneath the bridge here. It is kind of a figure 8. I mean, you take a look at the map, the track map there in the bottom left. It resembles a figure 8 of sorts, as if the figure 8 were maybe a little intoxicated. But yeah, out of hairpin, turn number 11 up to 12, and then 13 and 14 is Spoon. And Fear the Fun remains our leader. Let's go drop back to, oh gosh, LS Subaru already making his way up to 8th position now, able to get around Megachin. Good to see Megachin back out on the track. I don't think we've had Megachin for quite some time. Audrex in 9th. Kratrim in front of Subaru at the moment in 7th. And he is preceded by Onion in 6th, Kuda in 5th, Patches Riley in 4th, Slow Motion Fire in third, Test in second, and then again, Fear the Fun in first. How's that for reading the grid from back to front? All right, LS Subaru now up over the bridge and through turn 15 into 16, and we've got a couple of cars daring to go too wide here through 16, 17, then 18, making up Casio Corner. What's your favorite Casio product? I don't even know. And across the line for the beginning of lap number 2 is LS Subaru and company. Let's go to Cratrium, who's currently in 7th position, trying to hold off LS Subaru, but has a whole flock of limousines. Onion, Cuda, Patches Riley's up there. A whole bunch of cars keeping Cratrium from gaining ground on LS Subaru. As always, it is much appreciated that you found your way here to X Venture on a Tuesday evening. I am Dustin Moore. I'll be your chauffeur for the night. For the final time here in Season 46. It's always bittersweet. I know, it's a very cliche term. Oh, it's bittersweet. It's a double-edged sword. I mean, it's nice to conclude a season because it lets us know that we're making progress. That we finished something that we started. We will crown a champion here this evening. And then it will start the off-season once this race has completed, to which we'll make the charge to Season 47. And we'll say so long. Farewell to the Cadillac XTS limousine. Fear the Fun is just on a mean streak right now. Entering tonight's race, again, with just 100 points, has had a litany of disconnects here in Season 46. With any luck, he's got that sorted here in this long 37-lapper, again, around the 3.61 Suzuka full circuit. 18 corners in total as Patches Riley coming through turn 16. And a beautiful sunny day. I know LS Barney was in the FM4 Discord here earlier today, bantering it up with the drivers, and I think somebody mentioned that there's no rain out here tonight, which, if you know LS Barney, that's a party foul. Barney demands rain at Subaru, or excuse me, at the Suzuka. Subaru, who I talked to at the end of week number 4, was pretty happy that it is a dry racetrack. Not disappointed at all that it won't be raining. Patches Riley now taking them through the S's. The track map here for Suzuka is disorienting to me because it's with the start-finish line at the top there of the upper right quadrant, as opposed to, like, maybe, I don't know, I just always see Suzuka as the front straightaway would be at the bottom. I wonder if that is oriented to the cardinal direction, the cardinal north. I never thought about that. Do we have any Turn 10 employees who can speak on the orientation of the track map? Can we get confirmation on this? This is important stuff. Fear the Fun remains the front runner by a large margin right now, so much so that I refrained from even putting him on camera. Let's go to 5th, where currently LS Subaru, who's made the charge here over the last 2.5, make that 3 laps. Well, nearly 3 laps. So 2.5. From 10th Now to 5th, and actually may have been, well, no, there were only 10 drivers to start. That is correct. Only 10 drivers started tonight. It looked like we may have had a chance to have a few more drivers here this evening. As a matter of fact, we are missing a few who were pretty active participants here through Season 46. I don't see Modern Weapon out there. I'm trying to think of others. We certainly are missing a few folks, and a couple of folks who registered here for Season 46, unfortunately, were no-shows. And, of course, you know, life always takes priority. Life is always, should always be numero uno in your minds and mine. And so, sadly, the 3 drivers, to include Salty Bonkos, or I guess just RZM Salty now, was signed up. And, oh, I would have loved to have seen Salty out here in the limo, racing with the likes of Kratrium and LS Subaru and Fear the Fun. Just wasn't in the cards here. Let's go back to LS Subaru now, who has gotten around Onion Too Many Eyes for 4th. Subaru's got his work cut out for him, at least right now, to catch up to Fear the Fun in the front. That being said, there are so many laps remaining in this race that any size of lead that Fear could possibly have at this point is just not enough. Just not enough. Yeah, we've got the predictor running. It looks like we've got 6 folks who have ventured to guess that LS Subaru, well, 99% of them, said that Subaru would finish first, whereas 2 of y'all have said that no. Subaru is going to finish second in this race. Nobody has wagered 3rd nor 4th or worse, but I imagine there may be a few of you who are just waiting for that timer to tick down and for this race to get a little bit further along before you decide to throw down some channel points. It's a valid strategy. It is a very, very valid strategy. LS Subaru now through turn number 14. No tire walls, as you might see, because with the Forza race regulations which were introduced pretty far along in Forza Motorsport 7's life, the Forza race regulations enabled removes those pesky tire walls, which is great for an organized community-run league like FM4, where everybody's held to a standard that says, hey, race clean, keep your car out of the grass, don't try to find shortcuts. If you do, we'll kick you out. It's nothing personal, it's just business. In multiplayer lobbies, that standard isn't so high. And so, of course, FRR is, well, the tire walls may be a little bit more helpful there. FRR, I think, has a little bit of tweaking, needing some tweaking to it to make it super reliable and predictable. And multiplayer, especially when it comes to car collisions. Car collisions, that's always a tricky one for a video game system to sort out. Program that AI to figure out who's at fault. We'll continue to watch LS Subaru here, who is closing in on the top 2. Well, the latter half of the top 3, I should say, not the top 2. That would be 1st and 2nd. Rather, closing in on 2nd and 3rd, occupied by Patches Riley and Kratrium, respectively. Go back to Cuda 93 in 9th position. Nice little battle here with Test for 8th. And here comes Kuda looking to the inside. Turn number 13 at Spoon. Can't make it stick. Test is going to hold down the line and hold on to 8 as they exit turn 14. And what I consider kind of the back straightaway. Here at Suzuka. Up to 15 where you hook to the left, that dog leg. Don't want to run it too wide. You've got plenty of runoff area over there. But with the limousine as big as it is, it's not a great corner to run wide in. Here comes Kuda. Very well executed there through turn number 16. Able to hold on to it through 17. And puts the back end of the Oscar Mayer Wiener car out in front of Test. And across the line for the beginning of lap number 6. Well executed there by Kuda 93. AK-47 night. Yes, this is what we live for. Limo races. Yeah, darn right. Go tell everybody. Tell the world. Get on over here. Let's all be friends for an hour and a half if we can. Just watch some limo racing. Back up to LS Subaru in 4th position, and let's go ahead and watch that pass executed there by Kuda 93 on the back portion of lap number 5. Beautifully done. I don't even think there was any, maybe a little bit of paint rub right there through 17, and then by the time 18 comes around, establishes about a 1/4 of a car length lead. Yes, in a limo season, you have to measure the car length leads not by one full car length, but oftentimes in fractions of a car. You're not wrong there, AK-47, and I only wish more people were excited about the limo races. I think some people may have gotten the wrong idea that this season was going to be some sort of like goof around meme season. Couldn't have been any further from the truth. And I'm putting all the replays, every recording of these broadcasts, all 5 weeks of season 46 up on YouTube for posterity purposes, so that when somebody says, hey, you can't race a limousine, I'll say, hey, hold my coffee. Hold my coffee. Watch this. The 3-way battle for second here, and really, I guess for Subaru, not so much a battle. He's just kind of cutting and slicing here through the defense. Getting around Cratrim for third, and now is chasing down Patches Riley into turn number 1. Cadillac XTS limos can't race around a circuit? They're only good for Don Juan song to do gymkhana stuff in. Oh yeah? Hold my coffee. Watch this. Yeah, hold my coffee. Watch this limo race. By the way, I'm mentioning that because all of the recordings of each and every Forza Spec Racing Series broadcast here on XVenture is available over on my YouTube channel. There's the link. LS Subaru now making the pass around Patches Riley. As a matter of fact, Patches Riley getting double passed here by Subaru and Cratrim as they head up to hairpin turn 11. Look at that sky. That's a beautiful skybox right there. That is a beautiful skybox. A little cloudy here. I'm going to say south of hairpin, I guess. I don't know. We never had a turn 10 employee come in and confirm the configuration of the track map, its orientation to the cardinal directions. And even if there was one in here, they'd say, go kick rocks, Dustin. Do your research on Google before the race. Let's go back to that XVenture replay there as Cratrim He's looking at the backside there of LS Subaru, but then here coming through turn number 7, Dunlop curve, Patches Riley just can't hold on to it. That or Patches Riley willfully moves the vehicle out of the way, his vehicle out of the way there for LS Subaru to get by, and in so doing, allows Craytrim to get by. And wow, where did Patches go? Patches has fallen all the way back to 10th. Is there something I missed here? What happened? I don't see any vehicle damage. And Patches Riley is going to run a little bit too far into turn number 16. Slides the back end out and gets the Uber XTS limousine back out on the track. No damage to that car. It's just Patches Riley has lost composure or something, and I said fall back to 10th. Actually, make that 9th, not all the way back to 9th. Let's go to Onion to Me Eyes. They're in 4th position. And as the leaderboard would have it, Onion entered Week 5 racing action 4th overall, 253 points, just 9 points back from Craytrim, who is 3rd overall. Now, of course, I say 9 points back, but really what we also have to take into account is, will this be the week that drivers experience their worst championship points week, or will it be one of the other 4 weeks before this? And so, while the math initially looks pretty straightforward, there is some variation there at play because of, well, they're going to look at all 5 of your weeks and take your 4 best. So depending on what happens here today, or tonight, right here, Suzuka, could or could not actually have an impact on the final standings for each individual driver. Craytrim is now in 2nd, able to get around. I take that back. The timing was a little goofed. LS Subaru is, in fact, showing in 2nd, and by about a 4 limo length lead. They're coming out of turn number 15, heading into 16. Hard on the brakes, as is Craytrim. Let's go ahead and take a look at the vehicle situation here for LS Subaru. Already creeping up to 40%, make that 35. So about 5 percentage points shy of 40 there. Tire wear up front wheel drive limousines here. So the tire wear is showing up as would be expected. And the fuel depletion, 71% currently in the fuel tank for LS Subaru. 383 horsepower, 298 foot-pounds of torque are muscling the oh-so-heavy 4,351-pound Cadillac XTS limo around Suzuka. Brings the vehicle to C500 Performance Index, and if that means absolutely nothing to you, just think of it as this way, is that Forza Motorsport 7, or all the Forza Motorsport titles, basically have this index, this performance index, PI as it's often shortened, which basically is a rating of a vehicle's overall performance. Everything from braking to handling to acceleration to top speed, all factored in. And C500 would be on kind of the lower end of the spectrum. It's not the lowest end. You've got D and F below it, and even E. I skipped E, but I do believe there is an E class here in FM7. But pretty low, especially when you consider, 383 horsepower for a vehicle that weighs more than 2 tons. Back through Spoon, LS Subaru, Craytrim in tow. Let's drop back a little bit. Let's go to Audrex with a W. Not Agerex, Audrex in the Pipu car, currently running in 5th. Audrex, one of the longest running participants here. The grizzled veteran, if you will, of the Forza Spec Racing Series. Currently in 5th. Right about where we would expect Audrex. Usually sits just outside the top 3. Has had a phenomenal season. Currently 274 in terms of championship points entering week number 5. 26 points back from LS Subaru on the overall leaderboard. Again, really just depends on which week ends up being each driver's lowest in terms of championship points. That gets dropped. We tally up the numbers. And really, if LS Subaru finishes anywhere, I'm going to guess, I don't know, 9th or higher, then I think LS Subaru will pick up the championship. The points are doubled, by the way. The points are doubled here in week number 5 because we don't have 2 races, unlike that of of weeks 1 through 4, where we have 2 races per night. This race is counts double the amount that those would. First place finish. Normally in an FM4 race will get you 50 points, but here tonight it would get you a cool 100. And that would be, if LS Subaru gets the win here tonight at Suzuka, that would be 400 points total, which would match Subaru's highest amount of points. And really, it's the best you can get because there's only 5 weeks. You drop your lowest. 400 is the very most you can get in terms of championship points in any one season. So I say he ties his... Oh, Fear the Fun! Now, see, I know we haven't been watching you there, Fear, but but the camera is on you now. Taking that corner a little bit early there. Turn 16 was Fear the Fun as he sees, without a doubt, is starting to see the dot of LS Subaru get closer and closer and closer. There we go. You've been caught on candid camera. Through turn number 1 goes Audrex with Onion. Y'all make the call. You tell me. Cutting the corner a bit? Yeah, probably. Probably. Shame. Shame. It's a beer league, folks. Of course, if you get too carried away with it, they'll smack your wrist and they'll... figuratively speaking, they'll smack your wrist and tell you to cut it out. But I think we all know what is inevitable here. I mean, Fear the Fun cutting that corner is not going to change the outcome. I don't think that will change the outcome of the race. Let's go to Cratrium in 3rd. What vehicle do you all want to see in Season 47? Which, by the way, just so happens to be my 19th season covering the Forza Spec Racing Series. The 19th. Means Season 48 will be the 20th. Ooh, Colossal CC says the Speed 12, the TBR. The TBR Speed 12, I like it. Colossal, thank you so much for chiming in there in the chat. Welcome. I saw your name with the CCs at the end, and immediately I thought the Colossus of Cloud. The Colossal Colossus of Cloud. And thanks for the follow. Get the air wrench sound there and the little graphic at the bottom of the screen. Whoa! Hey, Colossal! Now, see... See now, we're a little friendlier than that here on the channel. I do appreciate you being here, but try to keep it at like a PG level here. All right, through the S's is Cratrium in third, Onion, Too Many Eyes in second. Actually, no, that's LS Subaru in second, Fear the Fun in first, Onion, Too Many Eyes in fourth, Audrex in fifth, Soul Motion Fire in sixth, Kuda in seventh, Test in eighth, Mega Chin in ninth, Patches Riley in 10th. The Colossus of Clout? The Colossus of Clout? Look at that helicopter just kind of buzzing the racetrack. Gonna do that for 37 laps. Cameraman's gonna be seasick by the time the race is over with. Man, couldn't you just get up to about 5,000 feet and just kind of cruise the course from end to end? You had to sit there and hairpin and just go around in circles? Coming up the spoon here, lap number 12. Cratrium hasn't lost sight of LS Subaru yet, not entirely. Cratrium sees another vehicle up there. That is Fear the Fun, who's been our race leader since the beginning. Started on pole. Again, I guess the driver with the lowest number of championship points heading into tonight's race, because that's the order in which they were supposed to be on the grid. Actually, Fear the Fun had 137. He had a little bit more than 100. And yeah, as it so happens, Virus Thoughts, who is not racing tonight, was at 132. Midnight Rider we haven't seen since week number 1. There goes Fear the Fun into pit lane. Spills 2003 we saw in week 1 for one race, I believe, before a DNF. So yeah, Fear the Fun had the lowest number of championship points entering tonight's race. That explains why he was on pole. It's just, it's confounding to my mind to think of Fear the Fun starting on pole in a reverse championship points grid order in the 5th and final week. Obviously, Fear the Fun would be a lot further up on the overall leaderboard, would have a lot more championship points at this point of the season. Just brutally plagued with disconnects here. I think a total of 4 disconnects here in season 46. Let's go to Audrex, 4th position. As Fear the Fun, like I said, has gone into pit lane and has now emerged in 5th. Onion, Too Many Eyes off the track. You see the dust getting kicked up. I'm not sure if Onion made contact with the wall, and that's going to allow Audrex to go ahead and move up a spot to P3. Oh my gosh, is our predictor almost over? I think it actually is over. Wow, that was it. Okay. A couple of you stand to lose a total of 690 executables. High rollers. High rollers in the channel. In the chat. All right, Audrex underneath the Panasonic signage there. You see the start-finish line here for the short West Circuit, or West, yeah, the West Circuit here out at Suzuka, I think. Onion looking to the inside in the Air Canada car. I mean, the limousine is about as long as a Learjet is, right? So the Air Canada livery is very apropos there for Onion Too Many Eyes. By the way, it's a Air Canada. If you didn't know, that's a Canadian company. Matching Onion Too Many Eyes' Canadian gamertag picture, the flag, next to the gamertag above the car, fully representing, I can only suspect, is Onion's home territory, home country. You're watching the Forza Spec Racing Series season number 46 finale out here at Suzuka. 37 laps, 3.61 miles per lap. We've already seen Fear the Fun go into pit lane. We will start to see everybody else here at some point. 61% tire wear at the front of Odd Drex's vehicle. Even starting to see a little bit there on the backside. But I don't think that will ever reach a point where they'll feel the loss of traction at the rear tires, especially since they aren't the driving tires. 52% in the fuel tank. The tire wear might necessitate the pit stop before fuel depletion does, which doesn't happen often. It has happened. I think the VW Scirocco is one car that tire degradation was always a greater concern and not so much fuel. And so we'll see when our top drivers, well, heck, we've only got 10 out there on the track. We'll start to see when everybody else goes in. Fear the Fun already with a fresh set of tires and a full tank of fuel. I don't know if that's going to take Fear all the way to the end of the race. He stopped at about lap 12 of this 37-lapper, so perhaps Fear the Fun anticipating a two-stop race here for the majority of our drivers. We'll see if LS Subaru has anything to say about that. Plenty of room on the grid. This was one of the lighter seasons that we have seen in the Forza Spec Racing Series for some time. That's not to say that the racing has been any less exciting. That has not been the case at all. But what it does mean is there is plenty of room for drivers like you to join the action come season 47. They'll have about a 3-week off-season period. I'll verify that with Soul Motion Fire when season 47 is expected to get kicked off. LS Subaru will pick the car, and Soul Motion Fire, Fear the Fun, Modern Weapon, they'll all come together to figure out what the essential upgrades for that vehicle will be, what the finishing performance index number will be, and the drivers themselves will participate in a little guessing game to help determine what the season schedule of tracks will be. Soul Motion Fire will post up some photos of the vehicle, some very obscure shots, like macro photography style, very close up. And for those drivers who guess the vehicle correctly, they'll have their pick of the litter of tracks here in Forza Motorsport 7 to say, hey, I want to see this track on the schedule next season. So perhaps an opportunity for you to have a little bit of a leg up on the competition if you excel at any one track. Krachem here coming through 15. Now 16. Keeping a pretty good pace here with LS Subaru. LS Subaru not too far ahead. Of course, Subaru did have to work his way up from the back of the pack, and as a result may have quite a bit more tire wear. Carving the corners, getting around traffic there. 70% up on those front wheels. That's pretty comparable to crate trim. Actually, crate trim in a more dire situation. 80% there on the front left, it looked like. All that to say about the transition here from season 46 to 47. By the way, if I have to put my Captain Obvious hat on here for a second, the points are erased after season 46. For season 47, they start anew. So this isn't something like where they combine seasons and then they've raced so many seasons throughout the year and then there's an ultimate champion crowned or whatever the case may be. No, the points are wiped. And so your chance to have a go at the championship is a very real possibility. And we'll see how much of a play LS Subaru has there in the upcoming season. No worries there, Colossal. Able to square it away. Appreciate you hanging around. Would love to see the Speed 12 at Laguna. Oh, now you're talking my language there. Laguna Seca, my favorite track. Forza Motorsport. Well, I was going to say Forza Motorsport 7, but Laguna Seca has been one of those tracks that has been a mainstay, a staple, an icon of FM7 from the very beginning. I don't know if, gosh, I'd have to look back to see if FM4 has ever run a TVR. Let's go to Cuda93 in 7th position behind Test. Test is in 6th. You were pretty excited when they dropped the footage for Forza Motorsport 8, the Ocho, at Laguna Seca. Yeah, that was pretty cool. You know, it was nice to know. It was nice to have that confirmation that, hey, it's being worked. Obviously, there are a lot of details unknown. Some of us who have been a part of the community beta testing, I don't even know if you can really call it a beta. It's like more like a Charlie. Some of the very, very early testing. There are some promising things, and there are other things that are like, okay, well, what about this? What about that? That just aren't part of the testing where it's like, okay, let's get some more information. I have a hunch. That here on June, what is it, June the 12th? Is that a Sunday? Whenever the Xbox Showcase event is going to be here in a couple of weeks' time, I have a hunch that we're going to see more of Forza Motorsport there. Dino Dado, what's up there, Dino Dado? Shaking your head at number 8 because there is no number on the. Yeah, we know. I think everybody knows. It's just a tendency. Everybody just wants to make it clear that they're not talking about the original one, and then everybody goes, "We know you're not talking about the original one," but it's like a semantics thing. I mean, heck, when you've been numbering them all the way up to number 7, what do you expect people to do? Oh, that's number 8. I don't care if they say it or not. Well, I do like the idea that there isn't a number on it. It does suggest a few things. It suggests that they're going away from that approach, that same approach that they've had of producing and releasing a new title every couple of years. I fully expect this next Forza Motorsport title to be the Forza Motorsport title for the next, 5 to 6 years. I mean, Forza Motorsport 7 is closing in on 5 years of age, I think, this fall. Which is just, it just boggles my mind. We've never had a Forza title for that long. One single title. Last that long. It's crazy. It's a running joke between you and Matt and the whole group that I hate it when it's called 8. Yeah. Let's just call it the Ocho. Let's just change it. Forza Motorsport the Ocho. Somebody draw up a Photoshop cover for that. It's continuing off of Forza Horizon 5, took place in Mexico, Forza Motorsport the Ocho will only feature racing circuits from the country of Mexico. Just keep it with the theme there. Dado, good to see you. By the way, I did duck into your chat for a little bit. I was lurking. I was full on lurking, obviously, but I dropped in to see a little bit of your iRacing stuff the other night. Good to see you streaming again. And for anybody who's looking for maybe a little bit more racing content here on Twitch, it is a niche genre here on Twitch. No doubt. And sadly, it's a genre that I feel like has seen a bit of a drop-off. iRacing content isn't as popular as it was maybe a year or two ago. Like, sadly, the racing genre just seems to be hitting kind of a little bit of a speed bump. I guess an inverse speed bump, right? If the metrics are going down, then it would be an inverse speed bump. But hey, I'm looking forward to the next Forza Motorsport title, because then I think that'll rejuvenate the Forza community. I hope it rejuvenates the Forza community, and then leagues like the one that you're seeing here tonight, FM4, I think will only benefit. I fully expect the first season of FM4 in the next Forza Motorsport title to be completely booked, that you will have to be fighting for a spot on the grid, which is exactly why I tell you, get involved in the next season, season 47, because when it comes to that point where people might just be clamoring to get back into the community-based leagues, getting back into the action alongside drivers that they've raced with in the past, if you have a rapport going, here comes Audrex to the inside. Crate is going to run wide through 15. And Crate dropping back a spot there, allowing Audrex, who is second overall on the leaderboard here in Season 46. Yes, I've been paying attention to the racing while I've been blabbering about everything else. Audrex now up to second. And across the line for the beginning of lap 19. Get in and establish a rapport with these folks here. I'm telling you, you're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to get better over time. SDR Onion, too many eyes. Oh, Cratrim is in the pit lane. So perhaps that's why Cratrim got out of the way there at turn 15. Already knew, hey, this is the lap that I'm turning it in. I am not going to try to hold you back. Fear the Fun now in third position. Audrex in second. LS Subaru, our championship, our reigning champion and best contending for the championship here in Season 46. I know there are still other drivers mathematically in the running, but LS Subaru, it's his to lose. Especially at this point, running out in front. It is Subaru's to lose at this juncture. Let's go to Patches Riley in 9th, Test in 8th, and let me go ahead and try to finish a thought here. Go to reddit.com/r/FM4. Introduce yourself. Join the Discord, which is a requirement. They do want you to be in Discord for the races. You don't have to be talking. You don't have to be sitting there conversating with the group. They just want you to be there so that if restarts are necessary, or if maybe they have to give somebody some sort of warning or something like that, they can do so knowing that everybody is getting the same info. It's a nice layer of transparency that they have in the league. They consider themselves a beer league. That being said, you've got great driver skill from front to back. Those who are especially quick and definitely could fit into the category of a professional esports racing driver, all the way back to those who, like myself, would be like, you know, I could do reasonably good, but I will always be mid-pack. All the way back to the end of the train, the caboose, with those drivers who are maybe getting new or familiar with community-based league racing. Maybe they're getting familiar with just racing games in general, and they know how to keep a car reasonably in check so that they're not causing problems for the rest of the pack. Well, if that's you, if any one of those category suits you, then head on over to reddit.com/r/FN4. Get signed up for Season 47. I'm promising you, whatever car that LS Subaru is going to pick is going to be fantastic. Fear the Fun is going to put together a wonderful tune for whatever that vehicle is going to be, and we're going to have another 5 weeks of just glorious racing here. Some of the best racing, community-based racing that you will find, dare I say, not only in Forza Motorsport, but just across any game, any community, anywhere. You're going to have a good time. You're going to have a good time. And gosh darn it, you may even see yourself on the broadcast here as you get around the track. Let's go to Onion Too Many Eyes in 4th. That's reddit.com/r/FN4. Nightbot has the link for you there in the chat. I am your master of I was going to say ceremonies, because I was thinking of chauffeur again, and I'm your chauffeur for the evening here in the limousine. I was talking about getting a, one of those T-shirts, one of those tuxedo T-shirts. That'd have been a great way to close out a season in the limousine. I failed. I failed to do that. If there's a T-shirt that you want me to wear here on the broadcast in Season 47, hit me up either on Twitter, here on Twitch, over on Discord. How else can you get a hold of me? I think those are the main. Oh, my email. I think my email is down below. Maybe. Hit me up, and I'll connect you with my my PO box. And then perhaps there in Season 47, I'll be wearing whatever it is that you send me. Let's go to Crate Room now here in 5th. By the way, I do hope we get news for the new game, said Dino Dado earlier. Yeah, it's got to happen, right? I think Xbox is definitely it's a little bit starved for first-party information, knowing that Starfield has now been delayed to 2023. What other? Fable, I don't think we're going to hear much about. I think Fable's still a long way out, which is being produced by Playground Games, by the way. Kudos to that team. It's just another nod to the greatness that team brings to the table, from the Forza Horizon series to taking an IP, Fable, which has such a strong following in the Xbox community, and leading their next, what I suspect is probably an open world game. Weren't they all open world, I think? Anyway, I feel like Xbox is going to want to try to jam as much first-party content into the Xbox showcase as they can, and, well, Forza Motorsport is just one of those very reliable titles to do that. Doesn't necessarily mean that the game is close to finish, although I will hope that it is, because closing in on 5 years here with Forza Motorsport 7, I think a lot of us in the community are like starved for new content. I think we'll see it. And like I said, it's not this coming Sunday, I don't think, but the following Sunday. Maybe. Maybe it is this Sunday. Can anybody confirm for me? Can somebody confirm? More than a 30-second trailer? Yeah. And not like a dramatic give us some signs of genuine gameplay. You know, racing games, well, I guess all games in general, but racing games have this tendency to be very dramatic with the camera angles and with audio that isn't indicative of actual in-game anything. Give us something, a little bit of taste of what is reality with Forza Motorsport, the new title. The very scripted corkscrew segment that we got at E3, a year ago or two, was cool, but let's not do that for like the next year before an actual piece of gameplay is released. Colossal says, would love to join a season, but time differences and working afternoon shifts make committing to anything near impossible. I hear you, Colossal. My retort to that, as we see Kraytrim and Onion here duking it out for in this battle for fourth, and actually they've been going at each other here ever since they were running second and third, or third and fourth. Now it's fourth and fifth. As they go side by side into turn number one, it's Kraytrim on the low line, Onion on the outside in the Air Canada car. Out of turn number two, heading up toward the S's, they remain side by side, rocker panel to rocker panel. The limousines are carrying the pace, the speed here through the S's. Now through four, into five, coming up to Dunlop, turn number 6 and 7. And it's going to be Onion who's going to hold on. Well, actually, yeah, Onion. I think Onion moved up a spot, right? Either way, Onion too many eyes in fourth, Kraytrim in fifth, as they head up to Dagner, turn number 8, the ever so tricky, although when you nail it, it feels really good because of the camber in that corner. If you don't lose traction and you keep your car moving forward there toward turn number 9, oh, that's a satisfying corner to get right. Now up to turn 11, hairpin. Nobody's going to confirm for me when the Xbox showcase is. Please help me out. It's a lifeline. I'm calling a friend. You. Yes, you. When is the Xbox showcase? I forget. Is it this Sunday or is it I think it's the following Sunday. I don't think it's this Sunday. Oh, Colossal. My retort to you saying that time differences, working afternoon shifts, even if you think that you can only make it for 1 or 2 Tuesdays, like if you think there's a chance that you can make a few of the races, then I suggest you get signed up either way. Because there will always be, I shouldn't say there will always be grid spots available, but over the last few seasons, there have been grid spots available, and if there is, they don't care if you can't make it all 9 races, all 5 weeks. If you're like, hey, I can do week 2, I can do week 4, week 5, whichever weeks, they'll be happy to have you out there on the track as a participant. Even if you're not planning to be in the running for the championship, that's cool. Just having more drivers on the track isn't just so that there's more happening on the circuit, but it allows the drivers who are of various skill levels to have a competitor. As you can see, our field is a little bit thinned out right now. Onion, Too Many Eyes, and Kraytrim are the closest competitors to one another out here on the track. But even for that 1 week, if you are a solid benchmark, a solid competitor, somebody for CUDA 93, for Modern Weapon, for Patches Riley, any of these drivers to say, oh, I've got a new challenger. Cool, let me see how well I can do. You don't know how beneficial that may be for a driver. Even if you're like, well, all right, I did my 2 races. I'm out for the rest of the season. That's all I could do. You might have provided just enough of a challenge for a driver to learn where maybe some of their weaknesses are and an area for them to improve. So I encourage you, Colossal or anybody else who may be sitting here listening to me rant about just sign up, just participate when you can. Just do it, as Nike would tell you. I'm usually toward the rear of the pack, but amongst it, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. As long as when you've got lead lap traffic coming up, getting ready to pass you, as long as you acknowledge, okay, there's the racing line. This is where I'm going to put my car so that that vehicle can pass me. That's all they're looking for. You don't have to be the quickest out there. And you don't have to dart off the track when anybody gets near you either. You don't have to like try to disperse when anybody is in your proximity. Just as long as you can find a line and stick it so that somebody knows how to get around you because they're like, okay, clearly I've got a quicker pace. Here's where I'm going to pass them. And they're able to do so without incident. Cool. And from time to time, if an incident happens, sometimes that's just a part of racing. As long as there's no sign that any of it is intentional then bygones be bygones. Got the camera fixated here on Onion Too Many Eyes, Cratrim in 4th and 5th, respectively. Most of our drivers, if not all of them at this point, yeah, all of them have to have had gone in to pit lane at this point. Here's the good thing. All 10 drivers who've started are still out there on the track. Let's go ahead and run through the order. LS Subaru, our 4-time champion, 4 times back-to-back, well, not 4 times back-to-back, but currently on a back-to-back winning streak. Unheard of. After season 45, LS Subaru was the first driver to have ever gone 4 championships in a row, now trying to make it a 5th. Currently is our race leader. In second, having a beautiful drive out here. Fear the Fun in second. Audrex in third. Onion Too Many Eyes in fourth. Cratrim, who we've got the camera fixated on right now, it's not too far behind, in P5. Cuda93 is in sixth. Soul Motion Fire now exiting turn number 2 in 7th. Patches Riley hitting the Casio Triangle, now coming back up toward the start-finish line in P8. 9th is Test, and Megachin. Good to see Megachin back out on the track, currently running in 10th. All 10 drivers who started out on the track. Yes, it has been a lighter season. Y'all know this. You don't need me to tell you, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Get involved. Even if it's not you, even if you're like, nah, racing's just not my thing, I would rather be a spectator. Cool. Well, you probably know somebody, right? Know somebody who might like community-based racing? Somebody who would love to have you as their fan, where you're cheering them on in the chat? Tell them, hey, there's this FM4 thing I've stumbled across. You should sign up. Tell them. Tell them you'll buy them a beverage of choice if they finish, I don't know, top 20, top 10. Usually we're right around 20 drivers or so through a season. Not necessarily 20 drivers in any one race, but throughout the course of a season, we may see a total of like 20 drivers out there. Spinach 9. How do you enter? Then says never mind, so maybe you found the answer, but there you go. Reddit.com/r/FM4 is where season 47 info will be posted as soon as it is available. We'll probably be chatting with Soul Motion Fire here in the driver's spotlight at the conclusion of tonight's race to kind of get some of those details on when you all can expect things to be posted there on their subreddit. Next Sunday, 12th of June, Dino Dado and Colossal teaming together to let me know when the Xbox showcase is. Okay, so there you go. Not this coming Sunday, but the following Sunday is when the next Xbox, basically their equivalent to E3. It's just Xbox. Well, E3 is done. Like, E3 is just kaput at this point, which is kind of weird to think about, but Jeff Keighley has done such a phenomenal job with the Game Awards at the end of the year, the Summer Games Showcase that has just been a thing over the last, 2 years? Basically, since E3 has not been possible, Jeff Keighley has been putting on the Summer Games Showcase, and that's been fantastic. And so basically, well, there were several factors at play, but Jeff has done a number in basically putting E3 out of business. I mean, I think there were some other things. There were some other problems with E3 that were looming even before the pandemic. But you throw the pandemic in there, you throw another production that's basically able to come in and provide the gamers with what they want to see, a bunch of trailers, back to back to back to back, gameplay, boom, call it a night. Not the whole 3 or 4 day stretched out expo that was maybe a little bit too much, a little bit too drawn out. We're holding tight here on this battle for fourth, and not too far ahead in third is Onion Too Many Eyes. I said it's a battle for third, or a battle for fourth. It is now a battle for third because Fear the Fun. I posed the question. Fear the Fun went in at about lap 12, lap 13, and now here on lap 26, sure enough, about twice the number of laps that he was able to do on the first stint, has now gone in for a second pit stop and is back out on the track. Taking a look at, there you go, 99% fuel. So topped off on fuel, which again, it was probably not the most contributing factor to the pit stop mean. With 37 laps, sure, fuel eventually would have become a problem, but it really is the tire degradation. We saw on Cratrium's vehicle getting up as high as 80% tire wear on those front tires. So Fear the Fun now 2 times the pit stops, and it's going to make things interesting here in what is that going to be, 11 laps. Fear the Fun may be in a great position here tire wise if he can churn out clean fast laps. Could make for a remarkable finish here, at least for Fear the Fun. LS Subaru still our race leader. That battle for third now because, again, Fear the Fun went into pit lane. Onion Too Many Eyes and Cratrium. Yes, absolutely. Great battle here. We've been seeing it throughout the season. These two have been really close, really tight all season. Again, Onion Too Many Eyes, 9 points back from Cratrium. 9 championship points back from Cratrium on the overall leaderboard. Cratrium, the winningest driver in Forza Spec Racing Series with, I believe, 10 championships to his name. Formerly known as C-Top, now Cratrium. Right there, closing in on the back bumper of Onion in the Air Canada car at the end of lap 26. Colossal, by the way, I'm sorry, the chat was just moving so quick. I know, I kid, but I know I saw this comment earlier and I meant to address it. So the whole season is the same car running the same tuning. Partially correct. It is the same car for everybody. The upgrades are the same for everybody. As it relates to tuning, the tuning is up to you, meaning that you can adjust those components which are tunable. Not every component will be tunable, but some are, and those you can adjust to your liking. Landslide. Need to give Subaru a handicap maybe. Have to drive, have him drive on 100% degradation, rims to the pavement. I like it. No, Landslide. I think the best possible thing we can do as an FM4 community, so FM4 a subset of the Forza community, you know, the best thing that we can do heading into season 47 is reach out to our other drivers that we know and say, hey, you want a challenge? You want to have a go at something? We've got this driver, LS Subaru, really, really good. Fairly new to Forza Motorsport. LS Subaru has told me hasn't been playing Forza for all that long. Is like a savant here. Challenge some people. I'm going to put the call out there myself. Here in the off season, I'm going to try to do some promotion to call folks out in the Forza community. I'm not like calling them out by name, but basically putting the call out there to the Forza community that, hey, guess what? Yes, I understand Forza Motorsport 7. I won't be saying all of this. This is just a little preamble here for you all. But, you know, I understand things have wound down a little bit. Forza Motorsport 7, it's been out there for so long. Some folks are on a bit of a break because they're just kind of waiting waiting in the balance for the next Forza Motorsport title. But why wait? Get back involved now, brush back up on those skills, and give LS Subaru a run for his money. There's somebody out there who's watching right now who could definitely give it a shot. Not saying that you'll be able to make it happen, but give it a shot and see if we can't put the pressure on Subaru here a little bit. The lead that you see here in this current race is very much the kind of comfortable lead that Subaru gets in all his races here in FM4. Jazz Daddy 2022, hello to you. Welcome back to the channel. By the way, I've been trying to pump up FM4 here throughout this broadcast. I've failed to do my own little self-promotion here. If you're enjoying the content of the stream, like Colossal CC was earlier, by clicking that follow button, please follow suit. Click that follow button. Lets me know as the broadcaster that you're enjoying the content. It makes it that much easier for you to find the channel when I do go live on Tuesdays, Fridays, Sundays, sometimes on Saturdays. But on Tuesdays with the Forza Spec Racing Series now, we'll have a little bit of a break here during the off season, but then we'll be right back at it with Season 47. Click that follow button. Makes it easier for you to find the channel when I do go live. And if you have your notification set up here on Twitch, you'll get that notification in your inbox, your email inbox when I do go live. The follow is the very least that I ask. It really is. For those of you who have gone above and beyond to support the channel with your Prime subscription or with your monetary subscription. Oh, wow. Thank you, Nightbot. Wow, that was very timely. For those of you that have gone above and beyond with a subscription to the channel, that is greatly appreciated. Definitely not required, but that helps me with the production of the broadcast. You heard some music off the top of the show. All of that I have the license for. I pay the artist their license so that I can play that music here on the channel without the copyright strikes and all that. And helps me with other equipment too. Whenever I upgraded the microphone a few months back and got the new PC and everything, all the contributions that you bring to the channel after Twitch takes their cut, those proceeds that I get, I turn those around and invest in the broadcast. Because really, I do this for fun. This is my hobby. I'm not a full-time streamer. I don't do this to try to become internet famous or anything like that. But those contributions that we get through the subscriptions and the little bit that comes by way of the ad revenue, it's all reinvested back into the broadcast. Dino Dado's got to take off. Have a good evening. Thank you, Dino Dado. And again, anybody watching right now, if you're looking for another racing streamer, or if you'd like to have the perspective of an actual racing driver here in the virtual world of motorsport, follow Dino Dado here on Twitch, where you'll see some behind the wheel action. Whereas here, obviously, I'm spectating. Dino Dado dabbles in iRacing. I think I've seen you do a little bit of Assetto Corsa, some dirt. Obviously, Forza Motorsport when that comes back around for you. Dino Dado getting back into the streaming scene. Hit him up with a follow. Appreciate it, Dado. Have a good evening. All right, the camera continue. I promise you, the camera isn't just staying here because I've completely forgotten that there's a race happening. It just really is our best battle out on the track right now as we approach lap number 30 here in this 37-lap finale out at Suzuka Full, Season 46 in the Forza Spec Racing Series. Jazz Daddy asking, when is Season 47? I don't have confirmation for Slow Motion Fire, though we'll probably talk with Slow after the race, as we always do with drivers. We chat with them in the driver's spotlight. It's a great opportunity for you all as the viewers to kind of hear the thoughts and the perspective of the drivers. Usually at the end of the season, we get to chat with Slow Motion Fire, and he'll kind of lay out what the next few weeks looks like. While it will be an off season for the channel and I won't have any FM4 content to broadcast, they do things during that off season to help prep the drivers for Season 47. So So basically, the answer to your question is, when is season 47? Well, it pretty much starts a week from tonight when they... Oh! And Krejcim into the back of Onion. Too many eyes on the front straightaway of all places. Well, that was awkward. Now into turn number 1. Onion able to hold on to it there in the Air Canada car. Able to keep his heading. Ha! It's an airplane reference. Onion, too many eyes. Now into turn 2, into 3, 4, 5, and 6. The S's here on lap number 30 of 37. This right here, if we have this same battle in season 47, this is going to be a good one. Krejcim we usually see running in second, running in third. Currently finding himself in P4. Again, just a testament that Onion Too Many Eyes has just incrementally increased his pace season after season, has really found a home here in the Cadillac XTS. I mean, basically, you can make the car your home. But no, Onion has performed admirably here in the XTS limousine. But season 47 officially probably about 4 weeks from today. Jazz Daddy says, I want to be in. Well, yeah. And get signed up. They're not taking sign-ups for season 47 yet, but bookmark that page, reddit.com/r/FM4. That's the place you need to be in the know and to get all geared up for season 47. Do it. I think, Jazz Daddy, you've raced in FM4 before, haven't you? Hope he was in the brace position. But yes. He was preparing for impact. Preparing for impact there was Onion Too Many Eyes. And now, down the back straightaway here at Suzuka Full, 3.61 miles per lap. So it has been a pretty lengthy race. Some of our finales run short. This one's going to be right on par here. Right around that. By the way, man, this has just been one big advertisement for FM4 here tonight, hasn't it? If you're curious, each night is at the very most 2 hours of racing. Weeks 1 through 4 are 2 races, and you have 2 qualifying sessions, 3 laps apiece. That takes us pretty much right up to 2 hours each Tuesday, weeks 1 through 4. And then week 5 is typically a little bit shorter by about 10 minutes or so. It is the longer endurance-style race, one single race as the finale. And this one is pretty much on par. We're going to be a little bit early, but where we would expect things to end here on a week 5 finale event. Oh yeah, this is Jazz Daddy. I thought so. I thought you had raced with FM4 before. Here comes Krejcim now, looking to the outside, just kind of peering, looking, keeping Onion on his toes. Take a look at the tire situation here. 60% now on those front 2 tires for Krejcim as we go up to Onion Too Many Eyes. It is a bit higher. 77 and 74 there on the front left and the front right. So that's what Onion is dealing with at the moment. Contending with. Not only is Krejcim right there. Again, Krejcim, the winningest driver in FM4 history. Right on the back bumper of Onion, but then the 10% delta of tire degradation, Onion's front tires compared to Krejcim's front tires. So we'll see if there's maybe one more pit stop in the cards here for our drivers. Fear the fun. Right now, the only driver, at least to my knowledge, who has gone into pit lane twice. LS Subaru up under the curbing. Yeah. Just as we put the camera on our race leader, there goes the back end of Subaru, taking it into Casio corner, sliding it into 16, able to get it recomposed here for 17, albeit very slow. And now out of 18, back up toward the start-finish line, completely avoids pit lane. Yeah, it's not a tire degradation. It's not a traction issue. It's just a Subaru, I don't know, maybe losing a little bit of focus or just having a little bit of fun out there on the track. One of the two, or both. Back to the battle for third. But which race? I don't know, Jazz. Here's the problem for me, is that, like I said, I'm closing in on 19 seasons here. By the way, has there ever been a Forza commentator who's commentated so many races in the Forza community? I'm just going to throw that out there. Has there? Do I have a Forza Motorsport Book of Records record going here? Coming up on my 19th season here with season 47. Proudly closing it. I might have to do something crazy for season 20. I don't know, but we're gonna need a little bit more. We're gonna need a little bit more excitement, a little bit more jazziness here, a little bit more engagement. We haven't done a giveaway in a long time, and I'm pretty generous with the giveaways, if I do say so myself. So I don't know. Maybe we'll have to celebrate big for season 20. Jazz Daddy, I think so? Well, I don't even know what my answer was to you. I said I don't even know which race you ran. I'm pretty sure I don't know. Maybe unless you've just been here in the chat, which is cool too. I just feel like do you have a gamer tag that is the same as your Twitch tag? Colossal says, looks like someone might have spun in front of LS Subaru. Really? A back marker, maybe losing a little bit of control there in front of our race leader. LS Subaru out in front. Audrex comfortably in second at the moment. Lap number 32 of 37. Onion too many eyes, and Kratrium. There goes Onion out in front. Now Kratrium's going to try to get it back. Oh, this battle for P3 is just way too good. Down the back straightaway. Almost side by side. Right there on the back bumper now as they go single file formation into turn 15. The little dog leg that kicks off to the left. I mean, how Onion is doing this with so much tire wear, I really don't know. Woozy Emu 316 double lot 44. That's your game. Oh, maybe not then. Maybe so. Maybe I'm just recalling your name from Twitch. Copy of a new Forza game? What is there? AK-47? I'm not tracking. I probably said something that rendered that you generated that response to, and I've just forgotten. Copy of oh no. Copy of a Forza game as a giveaway? No. No. No, I'm talking like console or something. Like for season 20. Copy of Forza Motorsport 7? No. I'm not that rude. I go big, man. Go big. All right, here through turn number 8, Degner into turn number 9. Krachim just giving Onion too many eyes all the heartache that he could possibly handle. Probably sweating bullets right now. Give away a Thrustmaster wheel, an Xbox Thrust. See, something like that where it's got a very like those are like you don't see those giveaways often. Something like that would have to be there would have to be some sort of like a sponsorship involved like that. I mean, Xbox, you can just pull one of I say you could pull one of those off the shelves and give it away, but at least, you know, there's so many Xboxes that it wouldn't feel like a super rare deal. Something that's like super rare, like a Thrustmaster wheel giveaway or a Fanatic wheel. Like I'd need a partnership with one of those companies to make that happen, because that's a lot of money to dump into those, and because they are such a small number of those produced, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to try to hunt one of those down. Something signed. I've thought about that. I've thought about trying to get something signed, but that's just that's probably more trouble than it's worth. buying the thing, shipping it off to somebody to get it signed, waiting for them to sign it, and then ship it back, and then ship it out to the winner. Like, I feel like people would just show up if there was an Xbox Series X giveaway. I wouldn't have to do anything more than that. Side by side, heading into turn number 3, and Onion in the air. Canada car is going to hold on to P3 for now. It's almost as if Cratrim is just kind of toying with him at this point. I have to believe Onion Too Many Eyes has got to have basically no rubber left on the front of those tires. You see 73, 72% there on the front for Cratrim, but it's a lot more of a dire situation. Yeah, 93% on the front left here for Onion Too Many Eyes. Cratrim is just toying with him. I think. I don't know. Sometimes we have nights like this where the camera is just fixated, and sure enough, there's the breaking point for Onion. Off into the kitty litter there, out of Degner, and Cratrim says, been nice knowing you. I don't know. Season 20, we'll see. Like I said, I need a little bit more oomph in the chat, a little bit more excitement. We need, like, if I'm gonna go big, I'll be all in. We gotta have a bunch of drivers out there on the track. Maybe not necessarily a full grid, but we gotta have a bunch of drivers. We gotta have people in here watching. It's gotta be all-round excitement. Just saying. Just saying. Our race leader, LS Subaru, now crosses the line for the beginning of lap number 35. 36 of 37. No, cinco. 35 cinco. Oh, Onion Too Many Eyes is now going to take the the mini Casio triangle there, missing the breaking point into turn 16. And Fear the Fun in 5th. Starting to close in now. And, of course, Fear the Fun, the tire situation in a much better spot there. 60% up front. Oh, yeah, Onion is in a bad way. Taking the scenic route, says Colossal. You betcha. All right, let's go ahead and put the camera here now that the battle for P3 has dissipated. Out in front, surprise, surprise, LS Subaru is going to be our 5-time FM4 champion. It was a record when he went when he became well, hold on, let me correct myself. It is not a record that LS Subaru is going to win his 5th championship. Again, that record is held, the most championships is held by Cratrim, which is at 10. Subaru getting his 5th is great, but what is especially significant about this 5th championship from Subaru is that it is a back-to-back-to-back-to-back-to-back championship. That's the difference here. It is the record for the most in a row. Correct, Colossal. As a matter of fact, Subaru established that record when he won 4 in a row, and now is making it 5. This, all while living in the future. LS Subaru's on the other end of the date line in Australia. And, yeah, has shown no qualms with it. Using it to his advantage. When you race in the future, you know what's going to happen on the track. So it's a little bit of an advantage. Colossus says a fellow Aussie. Yeah, Well, if you are, then he is, yeah. Back to Krejcim here in third. Audrex is snug as a bug in a rug in second. Fear the Fun across the line. In fourth, Onion Too Many Eyes with the tire degradation. I'm actually kind of surprised that Onion has not gone into did not go into pit lane maybe 2 or 3 laps back. As you can see, can't even make the chicane here. At 16, 17, and 18, has to drive it oh so gingerly, and tire smoke throws the towel in and says, fine. I got it, tires. You're not going to allow me to turn. I go into pit lane. Sure. I'm actually surprised that Onion didn't do this about 3 or 4 laps back when they could have made maybe an effort to get back up there into the top 4, top 3 with a fresh set of rubber. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. That's not the first time I've questioned SDR Onion's pitting tactics, albeit the first time I was definitely in the wrong. Onion proved me wrong in that one. This one, however, I think bad judgment. Great battle while it lasted. It did. Yeah, Krejcim won position in a fight of attrition. Basically worked Onion Too Many Eyes tires down to the bone. Now, things aren't all that much better for Krejcim at this point, up to 85%, but with nobody, well, I take that back. Fear the Fun is going to make it a battle for fourth here. Oh, careful there, Fear. A battle for third. No, Fear the Fun into the tire wall. Not even the tire wall, just in the concrete barrier. Able to make a recovery. If Fear the Fun can get a little bit more composed here on what will be the 37th and final lap next time by the flag stand, if Fear the Fun can do that, may have a shot at P3 here, but he's got to keep the tires in between the lines. Oh, there he goes, cutting the corner a little bit again. Lamside saying, Canadians just don't need tires quite as much. Horses get the job done just fine. Well, if you can't steer the horse, then it's a bit of a problem. A little bit. A little bit. All right. Halfway through on this 37th and final lap. That 38th lap that you see there in the upper left, that's just the cool down lap. We're not racing to the end of that one. Subaru here with just half a lap remaining here at the 3.61 mile Suzuka full circuit. Out in front of Audrex, who is in second. Krejcim in third. Fear the Fun in fourth. Not gaining any ground on Krejcim. This is disappointing. Fear the Fun has a real opportunity here to finish out strong in what has been a trying season for the veteran FM4 and well, not kind of, really is an organizer here. Is going to slide it through Degner. Well done. Well played. And we've got a driver off the track here. It's going to be Megachin there in 10th position. Behind Fear the Fun, I say behind, quite a ways back. It's Kuda 93, Onion Too Many Eyes there in 6th. Just a tough drive. It looks like Onion may be able to get up to P5 here by the time the checker flag drops on his 37th lap. Patches Riley in 7th, Slow Motion Fire, not having a great showing here in week number 5. In 8th, Test in 9th, and Megachin, like I said, parked in the dirt there at turn 8, Degner curve. Let's go to, oh man, yeah, Fear the Fun is just not being competitive on this final lap, going through Spoon. Krejcim is out of reach. I really thought Fear would have a shot at it, but not going to make it happen. All right, folks, well, we are definitely winding down the night here as drivers come across the line. They get the checkered flag. If you enjoyed your time here on the channel, please do click that follow button. When we get done with this race, we're going to talk to a few of the drivers in the driver's spotlight. Perhaps talk with Slow Motion Fire about Season 47. It's one of my favorite parts of the broadcast to be able to talk to the folks who are out there on the track. And then I will tell you a little bit about what's to come here on X-Venture while the Forza Spec Racing Series is in its off-season. Hear the fun crossing the line in P4. Let's go to Onion Too Many Eyes in 6th position. Colossal saying it looks like Fear is just having some fun finishing the tires there on that final lap, putting on a little bit of a smoke show for us there in the front-wheel drive, 383 horsepower Cadillac XTS Limo tier. Last time we'll see this vehicle here in FM4 with 700-plus cars in the roster, in the lineup. They don't repeat cars, so the Cadillac XTS, this is it. This is the swan song here. Lap 37 out at Suzuka, and across the line, Onion Too Many Eyes, unable to get up to P5. P7 belongs to Patches. Slow Motion Fire again with P8. 9th goes to Test. Mega Chin picking up 10th. All right, folks, just a little bit of an intermission here. Again, it does bring in a little bit of ad revenue. It's not a whole heck of a lot, but a little bit of ad revenue. More importantly, especially in weeks 1 through 4 when I run the ads, it allows it allows viewers to get right into the broadcast without the pre-rolls. Yeah, it's something I try to do when there's nothing going on out at the track. It's a way for people to be able to avoid those pesky pre-rolls and get straight into the action. Of course, we don't have that here tonight, but it is a way, again, for me to generate the slightest bit of revenue. And then when we get back from the back end here of the broadcast, we'll talk to some of our drivers, talk about Season 47, and what's to come for me here on X-Venture, to include Elite Dangerous. Yes, AK-47. Elite Dangerous here on X-Venture. Appreciate you hanging out with me. We'll wrap things up on the back end after the ads. I'm Dustin Moore. You're watching the conclusion to Season 46, Forza Spec Racing Series, here live on Twitch TV. Be right back. Spam those emotes! Welcome back to X Venture here live on Twitch TV. I'm Dustin Moore, and for those of you who had to put up with the ads, I do appreciate it. Helps out the channel, and welcome back. We close out week number 5, the final season here of season 46 with LS Subaru, finishing it off right where it began things here in season 46. Out in front with the win, and has picked up now what is his 5th consecutive championship here in FM4. It has never been done by any driver in the history of FM4, dating all the way back to the Forza Motorsport 4 years. Wow. Crazy stuff. And there's got to be somebody. There's got to be somebody who's watching, or you know somebody who would be a fit competitor. If not for LS Subaru, then maybe somebody else out there on the track. It has to. We've got such a diverse assortment of driver skill out on the track any given Tuesday that find your way on over to FM4. Find a home there. The folks, they're going to treat you nicely, and you're going to have a good time. Your skill is going to improve race after race, and we'll have season 47 here in about 3 or 4 weeks' time, whatever that may be. We'll maybe figure out from Slow Motion Fire here shortly. Time to get paid, says LS Subaru. Oh, you want your prediction points? You want your prediction points, do you? Fine. Choose the outcome. LS Subaru finishing out in front. For those of you who were the two predictors who lost a grand total of like 490 points or 690 or something like that. Too bad, so sad. It is what it is. Let's go ahead and drive into the driver spotlight. Well, we could do that too, but let's jump into there. Fear the Fun joins us. Fear the Fun, first off, great to see you here in the driver spotlight. Long time no chat. 2, great to see you be able to finish the race here tonight. Not to your own fault, but because of the connection issues that you've been battling throughout the season. And 3, one heck of a drive here this evening.
I appreciate it. I tried to get in here earlier because my voice is just gone. And this is why I sound like a prepubescent teenager.
He's lying. This is what he sounds like every night.
No, it's not. God, I hate to sound like this every night. I hate sounding like it now.
Obviously, FM4 is not only in all skill levels, but all ages are welcome, to include those of you who are entering your teen years.
Oh, come on now. I'm about to be 30.
30. Well, hey, tell us, not only what was it that turned it around for your connection here? Was it just because of Suzuka, but then also for somebody who unfortunately has been dropped out of so many races, you had a great control of your car here tonight, finishing out. Obviously, you'd like to be a little bit higher. You went for a different pit strategy, but finishing P4, not bad.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed the car. Could you repeat what you?
What do you attribute the finish to? For keeping your internet connection? What the heck was the difference there? But then also out on the track.
I've had no issue with the internet connection. Apparently, AMD's RDNA 2 with their graphics card doesn't get along with Forza on some tracks, and it'll just hard freeze.
Yeah, if I said internet, I meant your hardware issues.
It's not even it's software really, because I went from a 5700 XT to a 6700 XT, and it still happens. And apparently, like, it's a known thing. People have said something about it, and it's been happening for like the better part of a year now. But they haven't done anything about it. Yeah, AMD hasn't, and of course, you know, Forza, they're getting ready to start their second, or not their second, to put out a new game, so they're not really focusing on improving anything. So yeah, you know, I think I did good with the lot tonight just because I paid attention and I stayed out of it. I was lucky too to get the start in the front to kind of get away from everybody else. Putting that 10-second gap, let them all kind of sort it out for that first 5 or 6 laps. And then by the time Subaru got there, you know, he's fast. He's gonna beat everybody out there whether he wanted to or not. So as soon as I noticed him get to my rear bumper and my pit window was open, I took the first exit out and let him go by without any holding him up. That said, I probably should have held up CT because it probably would have helped me. And the reason I crashed on the second to last lap is because I tried to drink Mountain Dew and I noticed my car was drifting to the right and I overcorrected to the left and I spilled Mountain Dew on my controller in my hands. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go out for the next lap and a half or so, and just hope for the best.
I just want to confirm Fear the Fun. Blink twice into your microphone. Are you being held hostage? Because maybe you sound a little bit more distressed than anything.
No, just when my voice goes, I sound like I'm a teenager, like hitting puberty all over again.
Gotcha. Well, tell us a little bit about the pit strategy. It looked like you went in about lap 12, then I think it was lap 26, so pretty much doubling up on your not doubling, but every 12 laps or so, you went into pit lane there early on. Was that your intention all along, or was that something that as you kind of went through the race, and of course LS Subaru got around you, that you were like, well, actually, I think you went into pit lane, which is what netted Subaru his first lap in P1.
Yeah.
I guess in short, was that your strategy all along, or was it just something that you kind of eyed as you went about the race?
Honestly, I didn't really have a strategy. It was just kind of run it out until I was out of tires or out of fuel. And I wasn't out of tires yet, but I was getting close. And I knew I was going to have to make a two-stopper already. If I would have went 2 more laps, I think I would have been okay. Like, I think I would have been closer to CT and Onion maybe. Maybe caught up to them, had a good fight for third. Maybe even held up Aldrich a little bit and see if I can't get a good second out of it. But they all had good speed and whatnot. And I think I pitted on lap 12 the first one, but then I think I extended it out to either 14 or 15 laps on the second one. So by the time I got out, like, I had enough. I could have gone a little bit further with that first one. I think I could have been a little bit safer on tires coming to the end.
Talking with Fear the Fun here in the driver's spotlight at the conclusion of week number 5, the final week of season 46. And if you can't tell, I'm just going to continue to talk to Fear the Fun until his voice completely gives out. Fear, at the end of lap 36, going into that final lap 37, I thought for sure, especially with, what was it? Was it Cratrium? Yeah, Cratrium's tire situation. I thought for sure, hey, here's an opportunity. Even though you started out in P1, you had a really good run. I think you even got back up to P2 when other drivers started pitting and all that. I was like, okay, here's a great opportunity for a podium finish for Fear the Fun. Not able to make it happen on that 37th and final lap, even despite the fact that you had a better tire situation. What went wrong there? Was the lapse of concentration, or were you just having fun?
I spilled Mountain Dew.
I know, but you can't use the one spill of Mountain Dew as the excuse. Like, sure, that may have taken your attention away briefly, but you weren't able to.
Are you talking about the rest of that lap?
It was like a 30% tire degradation delta between you and Cratrium.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Tire fall off doesn't happen until you hit like 85, 90%. It doesn't. You could go from 0 to 80% all out and still run your fastest lap times. I was. It's just they don't degrade like you think they should. Which is over time. So it's like you have to get to like 85, 90%, and then once it gets there, it's gone.
Yeah.
The thing is, I wasn't ever gonna catch CT because I think he crossed the line with 91%, which means he had like half of the last corner with still like pretty decent grip before he hit 90. And then by the time he hit 90, he was already on the front straightaway and he was gone.
Got it. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Hopefully things are able to hold up better for the software heading into season 47 in whatever vehicle that may be. Fear the Fun. Gonna finish outside, I think, the top 10 here ultimately on the overall leaderboard. Actually, maybe I'm wrong there because of just how little the participation was.
I'd say outside top 5.
Yeah. Because you were 10th overall entering here tonight, 137. Okay.
Yeah, missing that second week really hurt me too because I was fastest around the oval.
You were fast out there, and then all of a sudden, boom, the loading screen, and I knew at that point, especially after the first one happened to you during qualifying, I was like, oh, here it goes. It's reared its ugly head again. And sure enough, that happened to you for like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Fear the Fun. Does your voice concede already, or is it done? Is it over with?
No, I mean, it'll go until it's gone, and then once it's gone, it's gone. I don't gotta talk to you for like another 3 or 4 weeks. It'd be good.
All right, well, Fear the Fun. Throw us get some shout outs out there. Who do you want to say hi or thanks to or whatever?
Thanks, Mom. That's it, man. That's it. That's all I got.
He's shouting up the stairs to his mom because, of course, he's a young prepubescent teen who's thanking his mother upstairs for letting him play Forza Motorsport 7 all into the late night hours.
Killing me, Smalls. Killing me.
Appreciate it, Fear, and we'll see you here for season 47.
Yeah, thank you for having.
I'm gonna spare Fear, and I'm gonna spare you all. It was great. I Fear the Fun. It was good to be able to chat with him again. It's been so long. It probably was very fed up with the connection issues, which apparently was a software problem. So good to get Fear in here despite the voice situation. Now we've got LS Subaru in the driver's spotlight here. 5 straight championships. Nobody had been able to accomplish that with the 4-time championships or four consecutive championship victories. Now you've made it 5th. Crazy stuff. I don't know. Give me a word to kind of sum up here season 46 in the limousine for you.
Fun.
Fun?
That's the word. Yep, fun.
I mean, it's hard to tell whether or not you're actually having fun out there because you've got such an insurmountable lead that it's like, is he enjoying this or is this boredom or what is this?
Oh, I mean, the fun comes from the conversations we have in the call whilst we're racing. I mean, doing the endurance race is always always a little bit more fun as well because I get to fight through the field for the lead as well, which adds on to it. But most of the time, it's just the witty banter that we have in the call.
Yeah. Talking with LS Subaru, getting the win out here at Suzuka, and ultimately the championship here in season 46. It's a game of chase the rabbit for you. It's going from worst to first here with the new rule structure that have been put in place for several seasons now. But yeah, like you said, it's kind of mixing things up after 8 races where you have, I think, qualified first for every single one of them. You get to look at the back bumper of everybody to start things off.
Yeah, it's always fun to battle with other cars for a position, whether it's for the second to last position or whether it's for the lead. It's always good to be door to door with people.
Even if it is the smallest amount, the smallest fractional amount that you could possibly imagine, do you have any doubt whatsoever at the beginning of that race that, hey, because of my starting position, this could end up being a race where I don't manage to make it up to the top spot, or does that never even cross your mind?
I mean, there's always a chance that I don't win a race, especially in a reverse grid layout. Because Audrex and Kratrium are they're fast players. So there is always a chance that they might be quicker than I am over the course of a race. And then of course you also got to weigh in the chance of being disconnecting or your game crashing during an hour and a half long race. So it does cross my mind.
Which was a very real, which is always a very real possibility. In fact, happened to you back there in week number 2 out at Silverstone, leading that race, and poof, you were gone. Had you been able to finish that race and had you participated in the finale, because sometimes you get to a point where you're just like, hey, I've got the championship in the bag, I'm not proceeding any further. You could have had a chance at winning all 9 races, which still has not yet been accomplished. Of all the things that you've done here in FM4, you've never won all 9 races in a single season.
Yeah, so I guess that'll be I guess that should be my next goal to achieve, I suppose, to get that elusive Golden Broom Award.
Yeah, I know. We've created the Golden Broom Award, and we've come very close to handing it out, but it's never happened. Are there other check boxes on the LS Subaru bucket list here for FM4 that we should know about?
Probably surpassing Kratrium's championship being the most successful player, probably. I don't know, I
Wow.
guess.
Yeah, I mentioned it a couple times throughout the race. I believe Cratrium's tally is at 10. The winningest, I guess, the winningest in terms of championships driver in FM4 history. At like I said, I think the tally is 10. So shooting for that. Of course, like I said during the race, I'm going to put the call out there, not as like a hey, everybody bully and rally up against LS Subaru, but just to say, hey, we've got this thing going on where we've got this driver who's doing exceptionally well. Who out there thinks that they can put an end to this and give it a shot? You and I, we've talked about this before. We certainly welcome that competition. Yes.
Yeah, of course. More people the merrier. I mean, everyone in Twitch chat right now, or anyone watching like a VOD, because I know that this gets like a 200 views. After the
200 million views. We're
uh,
worldwide here,
oh yeah,
Subaru.
I meant to say 200 million. But anyone who watches the stream, like, it's super easy and accessible to join this uh to join this series. We're very welcoming people. It's always we always strive to make sure that everyone's having fun rather than like being like super competitive. This is a beer league after all.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone here just wants to just race and have fun, really. And I strongly encourage anyone who feels like they want to participate. I strongly believe that you should.
Yeah, we had solid viewership here tonight that seems to suggest that maybe we have some folks that have not been a participant here in FM4, and so definitely you heard me go on and on about it during the race itself, but there you go, an open invitation from LS Subaru himself. I had another question, but it completely. Oh no! Looking forward to season 47. Now you've got the onus to select the vehicle. I know that was kind of stripped away from you at the end of season 45, but now FM4, the organizers, have put it back into your hands to select the car. Obviously, you're under the pressure of the organizers not to leak any details, but I don't know. Do you go direction of, hey, picking a car that you really enjoy to drive, or do you try to find something that maybe you've not spent a lot of time behind the wheel of and you want to see how it runs?
Well, the car I've selected, I have a total of 3 hours of driving, so not very much driving in it.
Okay.
Um, I mean, I'm exposing DMs here.
Nobody
Slow's
knows.
been
Nobody knows how many hours per car you have.
Slow's been DMing me. He's like, "Are you sure you want? Are you sure you want to use this car? Don't you want to? Don't you want to change to something else?" I'm like,
Oh, I got you. I
um,
see what you're saying.
yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm the car I've selected. I am 100% wanting this to be the car for season 47. I haven't driven this car in like over a year, so it'd be nice to to clean the dust off and
Well, you got to give us a little
bring
bit
it
of
back.
you got to give us a little bit of something about that. Then, if Slow Motion Fire is asking you that question, is it just that unorthodox of a vehicle? Is it? I mean, what is it about that car that Slow Motion Fire would be asking if you're sure?
I think it's just because it'll be quite the task to make it into a car that's usable for racing, I
Oh,
suppose.
okay. All right. So taking a vehicle that's maybe a bit of a challenge and making it fun, worthwhile to drive for 9 total races, perhaps is what Slow Motion Fire is
Yeah.
going to. By the way, Colossal CC has been advocating there in the chat for the TVR 12 Speed 12.
Hmm. Well, yeah. Well, you'll have to say what the car is. But yeah. When I told Slow what I wanted the vehicle to be, he's like, yeah, we'll have to see if we can actually make something out of this. And
What?
we'll let you know
Oh
if
my
we can.
gosh! I'm gonna have to thumb through the list of cars in FM7 again to try to pinpoint which one that could possibly be. You're making it
Well, you
seem
got a
like,
lot of cars to choose through.
yeah, well, there are certainly a lot. I just you've got me curious now. Which one? would be that much of a challenge to take from whatever it is to a bona fide racing vehicle.
Yeah, you'll just have to say there's
Well,
800 cars in the game,
yeah.
thereabouts. So it just makes it even just brings the anticipation up even more.
Well, if there's any league that could take a vehicle that would have a lot of people scratching their heads, um, and turn it into a competitive racer for drivers of all skill levels, then I guess FM4 would be the place to make that happen coming off of season 46 here in the limousine. Congratulations again, LS Subaru. I know I'm definitely sounding like a broken record here now. 5 straight seasons of winning the championship, awarding you the champ. I'm not awarding you. You've awarded it to yourself, but basically acknowledging here at the end of a week 5 finale that you've picked up another championship. What shout outs, what thoughts do you have to share here, closing out tonight's broadcast?
Shout out to the team LS. Without them, I wouldn't really be doing this sort of stuff. Shout out to Slow Motion Fire for making my livery and hosting the entire series as a whole.
Yeah.
Really happy with how the livery came out. And shout out to all the drivers that registered and competed in this season. You're doing God's work in keeping this series going.
Yeah, indeed. In a season that seemed to be kind of up against the headwind with some of the typical names that we see, the gamer tags that you would often expect from season to season not making it for one reason or other. Maybe it's because of personal commitments or it's just legitimately because of the car. Folks still showed up in reasonably good numbers, both on the participant side and the viewer side. So I echo those sentiments. LS Subaru, we'll see you in about 4 weeks' time for season 47.
Thank you.
Okay. Bringing now into the driver's spotlight, known in the FM4 Discord as Fear Jr., we've got STR Onion, Too Many Eyes. Had a solid run there going, but just kind of ran out of tire toward the end of the race. And I challenged you on your pit strategy earlier in the season. This is the one where I'm like, man, if maybe you gave yourself a second stop there with about 4 or 5 laps remaining, perhaps would have been back up into the top 4, top 3.
Nope, P5 was my maximum there.
No,
I
you don't
thought
think he would have been able to take down Fear?
No, I don't think so. He was. I would have had to catch up about 11 seconds on him in probably about 10 laps, which at the pace we were both running, I don't think I could have done unless he like crashed or something huge like that. And I was driving off the track pretty regularly, so I was just like, oh, we'll send it. We'll go for the one stop. Ended up with 98% tire wear before I pitted. Felt that was probably a good time to pit. I also thought we had one fewer lap than we actually had. Yeah, so that was just a strategical blunder, if you will. Call me Ferrari.
There you go, a little jab at Ferrari, but then allow me to exude my commentator competence in saying that I know what your strategy should have been there. If you had done it, you'd been. I think you would have been P4.
Possibly. That P4 was like absolute maximum.
Yeah.
P5 was probably where I could have gotten if I had pit one more time and just driven the rest of the race as normal. But I've felt, I'll just give it a go. Last race of the season. I'm not fighting for anything in the championship, so give her a go, see what happens. I'd never driven a car above 95% tire wear before, and now I know it's a bad decision.
Sadly, a little bit comical there toward the end. We saw that the Casio triangle was just darn near, if not entirely impossible for you there on those last 2 or 3 laps.
Yeah, the car just wouldn't stop. Slow in chat just said we were yelling at Onion to pit and he wouldn't listen. Don't believe him. They were not telling me to pit. I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, see, I've got the consensus. You're the odd man out here as the driver.
I think Slow's lying, actually. I was there the whole time.
Slow's not got a lying bone in his body. Dude is as narrowly focused and straightforward and honest as anybody I've known virtually over the interwebs.
Yeah. Had a
Well,
little bit of fun with the pit strategy. That's what it is. I enjoyed the car. I had a really good time this season.
good.
Huge shout outs to Audrex and CT and Fear. Had a
Yeah.
bunch of fun racing with them.
Yeah. It was. I mean, if you and Cratrum keep up the same level of competitiveness that we saw here, in season 47, that bodes well for not only the next season but seasons to come here. Great battling there, and as we talked about, whether it was last week or all throughout season 46 here, really have shown significant improvements. And of course, for some drivers, it comes and goes depending on what the vehicle is. But what you've demonstrated over the last few seasons has been nothing short of like visible signs of improvement. And so it only makes me that much more excited about what's to come here for you and of course your closest competitors here over the next 9 races when we get season 47 started.
Yeah, I mean, the last 3 seasons have been C-class cars, if my memory serves. The RX-3, the
Yeah.
Abarth, and then this one, which is kind of where I'm the most comfortable, is with these slower
Okay.
cars like A-class, B-class, C-class.
Huh. Like little track day cars type thing. I mean, not to
Yeah.
call the limousine a track day car, but at least that
Well, you're not
PI
gonna
is
take
kind of
a
indicative.
You're not going to take a limousine out to your local circuit there, Dustin?
I've been barred from all tracks. That's why
Okay.
I'm on the microphone. I don't
Yeah,
steer.
I see. I see.
LS Subaru just before you here, kind of being a little bit ominous about what the season 47 car is, getting to pick that vehicle this time around. Whereas that option was taken away from him heading into season 46 here. Does that have you a little bit nervous as a driver?
I heard what he was saying, and honestly, I'm kind of excited.
Kind of excited,
because
okay.
I'm a Chaos fan. I love Chaos. And if we get
all right, Robotnik.
if we get another brilliant car like the limousine, I mean, damn, that'll be. I wonder if he chose like the Isetta or something.
Oh gosh, it's
Maybe
been
Ford
thrown
Bronco
out
for the
there.
memes.
I fear what that would do to everybody's confidence level if the Isetta was chosen.
The Isetta would be phenomenal. Maybe he chose the Ford Bronco for the memes because that's been a meme.
Ford Bronco.
The...
Slow can correct me either in the chat or I think I'll be chatting with him maybe here. Next up.
Yeah,
I think they steer away from DLC, and I believe the Bronco was DLC, right?
There's one DLC version and one not, I thought.
Okay.
There's one that's the Barrett Jackson, and then there's the standard one.
Got
I have
it.
no idea what cars are DLC because I just own all the DLC. Oh, it is DLC. Wait, no, maybe I don't know.
I can't remember. I know the Barrett Jackson one that you're referencing definitely was DLC. The standard
I don't think so,
70s 60s model, whichever it is, that might have been a base car. I don't know.
I just own all the DLC, so I don't know which cars have DLC anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it'll be interesting to see, and of course, how the skill that you've demonstrated here over the last several seasons, how that translates to whatever that car may be. We're all going to have to be on pins and needles. If you participate in the car guessing challenge, what track, if you guess correctly, what track will you be nominating for the schedule? I know that's kind of a difficult question, not knowing the car. Maybe your selection would be dependent on which vehicle it is, but if you just had to throw out something there, what track do you want to see on the schedule?
I mean, usually I pick it based off of the build, so I wait until registration is up, and then I will choose it. Then I'll do testing on, I'll usually pick a few tracks that I want to see, and then I'll do testing on all of those, usually like 2 or 3. And yeah, I'll just do testing on those and see
you're avoiding the question here, Onion.
There's
only so many tracks in FM7.
I don't even know what the tracks. What tracks do we even have in the
Gosh,
game?
what
man?
haven't we seen in a bit?
Yeah, we haven't. I guess
the
Test Track Airfield hasn't been in a
Daytona.
while.
We haven't been out to Daytona in a bit.
We
Either
haven't
the
been out to
tri
Daytona in
oval
a
or
while.
the road course.
Daytona Oval might be a good one
Hmm.
because more ovals is always a good thing in this game.
More ovals.
Oh, we haven't done the Indy Oval in a while. We haven't done any of the
Indy oval or road course. Maybe that was a little
I'm
bit more.
so bad at the Indy
recent.
road course though. It might not be
Yeah.
might not be a good pick there. I might want to cool it on that one.
If you've got for those of you watching, if you've got a course that track that you would really love to see, regardless of what vehicle it is for season 47, feel free to drop it in the chat. Would love to know. Homestead, Soul Motion Fire has thrown out the road course.
Okay, that's a good one. I like that one.
I feel like we had been out to the road course. I mean, obviously we did the oval here in season 46, but
I can't remember ever racing the road course. So
yeah, it may have been a while since we've done that. I'm trying to think of what car it would have been that we've been there with.
Who knows? If anybody in chat wants to DM me on anything, I'm Onion with one too many eyes on all the platforms. Just DM me.
I love it how you've embraced that name.
Yeah, it was because I couldn't get like Onion with the right amount of eyes, so I was like, I'll just throw in an extra eye in there. Sure enough, that's available on.
You should change it Onion and just replace the I with a Y. Onion. Just saying.
I'm gonna stick to this gamer tag.
Fine, whatever. Colossal in the chat says, as an Aussie, which again is amazing. We've got LS Subaru, our 5-time champion, there in the land down under, and Colossal here says, as an Aussie, I'd like to say Bathurst, but we saw Bathurst as the finale for season 45. But Laguna Seca, which I'm always down for. We could do Laguna Seca every season, and I'd be happy as a clam.
I was about to say go to sleep. You're Australian, but it's like noon in Sydney, so
yeah, it's not very. It's not super early over there anymore.
You stay awake, I guess.
Yeah. Any shout outs here, Onion? Too many eyes before we depart for a few weeks.
Just same shout outs to everybody I've been racing against: Audrex, Fear, CT. Shout outs to Slow, Fear, the guys for running this. Always such a blast.
Yeah.
Shout out to the drivers for picking the limousine. Great choice. Love that. And I want to say I've been improving, right? I'm going to throw this one right out here right now. Somebody clip this. If I win a race, I will take a whole bite of an onion, videotape it, and I'll send it in the Discord. Just like an apple. I will just eat it.
Now see, you're talking. Now you're speaking my language, like promotional for FM4. Like, sure, somebody's gonna want to see you take a bite of a whole onion with the. Did you say with the outer layer
I'll go with the peel still on. Hell yeah, we'll go for it.
What are the stipulations again? If you win
I need to win a
race in season 47.
If I win a race in any season.
Wow. That isn't already your pre-race routine, asks Slow.
I usually cut it up and just eat little bits of it. I don't usually eat it full with the
But see, is this so much a challenge for you, or is this a challenge of LS Subaru's will to win every race for him to concede and be like, let me go ahead and let Onion win this one so we can watch somebody take a bite of a whole onion?
Yeah. It's Subaru. If I'm in P2, I mean, you know what's coming. You know what's got to happen.
Colossal, you've got a fan in Colossal here saying, I always like an underdog. Onion has my backing for season 47. Get that win.
We love to see that.
All right. Well, okay. So you gave. I asked you if you had any parting words, and you gave yourself a challenge for. You said not even just for season 47, but beyond. Any shout outs, like legit shout outs now at this point?
Oh, I already shouted out everybody. Like Slow and the guys running the season. Great stuff. Oh, I see Landslides in chat. Love that guy.
The Colossal. Yeah. What about your SDR teammates though? How about that?
Patches Riley, hate that guy.
Yeah. Anybody else a part of the SDR team that you'd like to challenge to say, hey, come race with us?
um,
No. All right, the recruiting efforts.
maybe
we need a
get
little bit of
Ryan.
work
Maybe
on
get
that.
Ryan back in here. He's slower than me.
Who's that?
Maybe get Ryan back. SM Sleepy. He's slower than me.
SM Sleepy. Okay.
I won't have to worry about battling him for a position. He won't be ahead of me at all.
Gotcha. So Motion Fire reminding you that Subaru hasn't won a full season yet, so there's a chance.
There's
so
always
you're
a
saying
chance.
there's a chance, Slow Motion Fire.
There's always a chance. I will actually do this. Somebody clip this. So if I forget, I will genuinely do that.
Oh, they can clip it, but the recording is going to be on the Twitch for 30 days. It'll be over on YouTube here in about a week. So you're good. We've got this.
Yeah.
You can't go back on this now.
Perfect.
Even if nobody's clipping fingers are working at this moment, you're locked in, my friend.
Perfect. This
Now the question is red or white?
Whatever I have in my kitchen, or if I don't have anything, then I'll I don't know, you could do a poll or something. I'll go to the store and buy one.
All right. For those of you watching the channel right now, go ahead. Red or white there in the chat. That way we could set Onion Too Many Eyes up for at least to know like what he's got to go shopping for if the victory comes to fruition. Great chatting with you all throughout the season. Wonderful, remarkable driving out there on the track. I look forward to seeing what's ahead. Oh, Soul Motion Fire says yellow. Don't forget yellow. Okay, the profile photo is yellow.
Yeah, the profile picture is a yellow onion. Yes. Oh, everybody's saying yellow onions.
Okay, yellow it is.
That's
apparently.
actually probably the most bearable kind of onion.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm wondering. I subconsciously omitted that one because I'm like that one's for weaklings.
That one's pretty, yeah. Like that or a green onion, that would have been super easy.
What is wrong with y'all?
You guys are throwing. Honestly, maybe give me like some shallots or something. I don't know. Those are kind of spicy.
Shallots? Yeah.
Those are kind of have a flavor to them. Or red onions. Those are always good. Make my breath smell for.
I know
years.
the red. I thought people would be leaning toward red, and what do I know?
Yeah.
I can't even predict your pit stops.
Also, Landslide is at work currently.
Yeah.
Get that guy. Get back on the job, dude. Slacking off.
Now you're trying to get rid of my viewers? What? You're done talking, my friend. You've set the challenge.
No.
That's all that needed to be said at this point.
Don't kick me out. Oh no.
I got to get to Slow Motion Fire. We got to wrap this thing up. Onion, great chatting with you. Awesome driving. We'll see you in about 4 weeks' time.
Wait, the ghost pepper onion?
All right,
Landslide.
that's enough.
Is
You're
that
gone.
a real thing?
You're done. Slow Motion Fire now joining me here in the driver's spot. It's kind of like a tradition here, end of the season. I know we talked to you earlier in the season, but another one in the books. I was saying, and I know it's a joke because all of the seasons, all of the recordings go up on YouTube, but for anybody who says you can't race a limousine, I'm going to point to them to FM4 season 46. Go watch a couple of episodes and be convinced that you can in fact race a limousine, and properly too.
Yeah, this has been a fantastic season. I've really enjoyed racing this car. I've been incredibly slow in it, except for maybe Bernice Alps, but it's been a lot of fun nonetheless.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with living up to your name, Slow Motion Fire. That's okay.
Well, you always got that to fall back on.
Yeah, no, it was a great season. I'm kind of sad that so many people, I'm going to say, missed out. Obviously, again, if life threw them some lemons that they had to take care of that kept some drivers from participating here this season, particularly those who had registered. Understandable, completely understandable. Will never fault anybody for taking care of life first and foremost. But I feel like some people missed out, not only on the participant side, but on the viewership side. So we'll see what LS Subaru has to throw at us. This 9th and final race for you here at Suzuka, not so hot.
No, I felt like I had good pace, but I didn't. The car felt great. I had a fun time driving it, but I didn't have the pace tonight, didn't have the tunes, so I was just kind of driving around by myself, except for the few times pit stop strategy kind of bunched us up a little bit, but I can't complain. It was a pretty mistake-free race, so that's
Yeah.
always good to have.
You came into this race 7th overall at an even 200 points, trying to take down Patches Riley, who was above you in 6th at 238. Could have definitely used a good finish here. Of course, we'll see how the drop week rule plays into the total tally, which you may have already done.
Yeah, that's already been done. So I'm still sitting behind Patches. Both him and Kuda finished better than me tonight, so they stayed firmly above me there.
And for anybody who's still watching, just forget everything I've said. Slow motion fire. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat. Who's our champion here, season 46?
Well, it's LS Subaru.
Oh my god! Oh my gosh! 5 times in a row.
No one would have guessed.
Who would have guessed? Uh, just shy of a perfect season because of a disconnect earlier on. What did you guys finally do to fix not fix your computer, but fix Fear the Fun to allow him to continue to race tonight? How did that happen? Who
Just
forgot
wanted
to
the
flip
track
the switch to disconnect him again?
actually race at without crashing.
Apparently AMD has whittled Fear the Fun's tracks down to just Suzuka full circuit. That's all he can race ever again.
Oh man, it's been such a frustrating season for him
Yeah,
because
I know.
the races he's been able to complete, he's been fast. He can run at the front with this car, and then he just gets dropped out of the race. What can you do?
I feel his pain because I've been on that side of things, both with the broadcast and with Forza lobbies myself, where I'm just like, what is going on? Is it my ISP? Is it my console? Is it my PC? What is going on here? Have to get things sorted out. It's never fun, like troubleshooting your way back into a competitive nature. Like even after you get it fixed, now you're like, gosh, I've missed so much racing that I kind of feel like I'm out of the scene. I'm not competitive enough, but Fear the Fun doing a great job. Back on over to you. Um, Apparently, LS Subaru's already told you, what vehicle is his choice going into season 47. So obviously, you're not going to disclose that. But how competitive do you see yourself being in whatever it's going to be?
I don't have the slightest idea. In true FM4 fashion here, what we ask from the drivers, this is a car that I have not raced in Forza before, so I don't know what to expect out of it. We'll find out once we hit testing for it.
Onion is excited. He's curious. It's got him thinking. For me, I'm not even a driver. It makes me nervous because you say you haven't even really used it as a competitive race car in Forza Motorsport 7. Immediately, the flashes of like the Isetta and all that come into view, and I'm just like, oh no.
From one extreme to the other, longest wheelbase to the shortest wheelbase.
Say it ain't so.
Well, we'll find out. The teaser images go up tomorrow at 7, so that's when the 7 Central, that's when the guessing opens. So
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. And sure, we may not have some of those same people here, but perhaps somebody who's watching this back on demand. So the teaser images going up tomorrow. Registration looks like what, 3 weeks from tonight? 2 or 3 weeks?
yeah, we'll have a week and nothing, and then we'll have the Gap Week fun racing, then test and tune night, and then the first night of racing.
First night of what looks like the 28th of June, if I know how to do math.
Oh, I haven't looked at a calendar yet. That's the job for tomorrow when I post all this stuff. Let's see here.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You don't have to. We're toward the end of the broadcast here.
Yeah,
The important for
the 28th. Yeah.
Yeah, the 28th. Okay, so the important thing for people to know is that reddit.com/r/fm4. It's the 28th, but even if it happened to move to the left or the right or whatever the case may be, reddit.com/r/fm4, the link that Nightbot just posted in the chat is where you need to go to stay in the loop and let the folks of FM4, Slow Motion Fire, Fear the Fun, Modern Weapon, whoever it is, let them know that you want to participate. We had a few of you say that you were interested. There you go. Make it happen. Colossal says we can't guess yet. Well, Slow Motion Fire will get those kind of like macro photography, close-up, obscure images of like vents and door jams and reflectors and weird stuff like that. Get those posted in the subreddit, and then from there, you submit your guess directly to Slow Motion Fire. That way, he can kind of vet it and say yes, you got it correct, or no, you didn't. And if you did get it correct, you get to pick the track, or at least a track for season 47. So I know I don't give you a lot of time here, as we've kind of gone long on the interviews, but any shout outs that you'd like to throw out there into the universe?
Yeah, just shout out to everybody watching the stream. It's great to see a bunch of people in here watching this tonight. Shout out to Dustin for putting on the stream. Shout out to the mod team for putting up with me. And shout out to all the drivers who participate week in and week out. If it wasn't for all these people, we'd have absolutely nothing here. I'd just be talking to myself every night. So it's great to see everybody come out. And if you're at all interested, sign up. The Reddit is the business up front. The Discord's the party in the back. So check it out and join us.
Yeah, you're telling me about the whole talking to yourself thing. I'm really glad that folks showed up. Did a really good job number wise here tonight, and I hope that only translates to continue that momentum into season 47. Again, the numbers aren't the biggest thing for me, but it really does make things more exciting when we've got a lot of participation in the chat. People are bantering it up there in the chat, talking about their favorite driver out on the track or what they think is the right strategy, and then of course seeing as many folks as we can cram into a 23 car lobby as possible. That makes things a lot more exciting for not only us as the viewers, but then the drivers. You got a lot more options to choose from in terms of drivers who are similarly skilled as you and compete up against. Slow Motion Fire, I commend you on another excellent season executed, especially with one that includes a limousine, or not includes, but features the limousine. Curious to know what season 47 holds, and we'll see you there on the 28th for the start of that one.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Dustin.
Yep. All right, folks. Well, there you go, man. It's amazing. The racing ended like 40 minutes ago, and it's awesome how I can get enthralled in these conversations with the drivers. Like I said, it's one of my favorite points of the broadcast is to be able to chat with people about their strategy, what they thought of the race, and I don't know, some other things. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've asked any of the drivers like what their favorite food is or where their favorite travel destination has been in there. I got to get back to that. If you got some questions that you'd like to hear some of the drivers answer, drop them in the chat. Hit me up on Twitter, wherever you can find me. Say, hey, Dustin, this is what I would be interested in. This is what I want to hear. Let me know, because really, obviously, I do these broadcasts to entertain you all. And so if I'm not hitting the mark, if I'm not getting to the details that you wanna hear, then well, gosh darn it, I've got some improving to do. So there you go. Colossal says, what is the Discord again? I don't have a command for it. We Soul Motion Fire, we really ought to get a command. I need like a link to the Discord that I can use as a command. But head on over to the Reddit, and I believe they've got the link there. There, yeah, the Soul Motion Fire says the link to the Discord is in the sidebar on the Reddit page. Thanks for that reminder, Slow Motion Fire. I'll pull that link. That way I can create a command for FM4 Discord. That makes things easy for the likes of Colossal to find their way over to that part of the community. And yes, I can't say it enough. If you're listening and you want to get involved, the first step in getting involved is to actually join the FM4 community. That way you can introduce yourself, and it doesn't have to be something elaborate, but just basically saying, hey, I want to take part in some form or fashion. Even if you want to help in the behind the scenes stuff, I'm sure they've got some sort of role that you could help out with there. But yeah, more drivers, more viewers. It's just going to make things obviously that much more exciting for everybody involved. Whew, what a season. Congrats to LS Subaru for a 5th straight championship. It hasn't been done before until now, until tonight. So you all have seen history here on X Venture with the FM4 series. I'd like to also throw a shout out to the Turn 10 Studios team, community team, for giving us a little bit of love earlier on in the season. I hope that continues, because really part of the drive here for me in terms of broadcasting these events is to keep people as excited about the Forza Motorsport franchise as I am, having been here since the original debut back in 2005. It's really a blast for me. I thoroughly enjoyed the racing side of things up through about Forza Motorsport 6, but now I like to see the talent of the drivers and put the focus, the spotlight on that. And if that means having a part that just has me commentating and not driving, then cool, I'm up for that. And so anytime that we get some love from the devs to put some more eyes this direction and get some more drivers involved, really that's what I'm really looking to see, is get some new faces, new Xbox gamer tags in the lobby. Bring it on. Keep it coming. All right, folks. Jazz Daddy says, I just subscribed to the YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Yeah, and there's nothing really anything more there apart from recordings of the FM4 series. So if you're curious about what this series has looked like for the 18 seasons that I have been covering it, then head on over to the YouTube channel where you can see those back, and you can it's kind of funny to look back on like how things have evolved over the seasons, both with the drivers and their talent, their skill out on the track, but then also the stream itself. Whereas before you never saw my face, now here I am for whatever reason. I don't know why. I haven't quite figured out. I guess just to make things seem a little bit more personable. I ask for your engagement. I guess the very least I can do is show face and try to precipitate that engagement. All right, folks, things changed up a little bit here on the broadcast. Let me try to find the closing screen. I've been meaning to get there, and now I'm just now getting around to it. You see Death Stranding. Yeah, I'm going to do a single-player storyline Sunday again. Death Stranding kicks off this Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern. It is day one of my Death Stranding playthrough, so if you're curious about that game, which I very much am, I know of it. I've just never played it, ever. It is legitimately my first playthrough, and I'm curious as to what is in store. Again, that's this coming Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Before that, I will be live on Friday. I'm going to play a little bit of Elite Dangerous. I know AK-47 was in the chat, like LOLing Elite Dangerous. I had a good time getting back into it this past, what was that, Sunday? When did I play that? I guess it was Sunday. Yeah, it was. So I'm going to do it again this coming Friday for a couple of hours, starting at approximately 7 p.m. Eastern. Yes, that is an evening stream to help kick off the weekend. 7 p.m. Elite Dangerous. The Adventures of Commander Moore, as I've dubbed it. So come hang out with me for that. And then a week from today, yes, we'll be in the off season for the Forza Spec Racing Series, which means I've got to fill the time with other content. And so Car Mechanics Simulator 2018 it is. I've kind of jumped in there off stream to just have some fun in there, just virtually turning the wrench. So if you want to come hang out with me, talk shop in the virtual mechanic shop that is Car Mechanics Simulator 2018, then come hang out with me. That's at same time, same channel, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, Car Mechanics Simulator 2018. It's been a blast, folks. It's been a blast, and this is certainly not a goodbye. We await what Season 47 has in store. We await what car it is that LS Subaru is going to pick. Closing it out with a little goodbye music. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of the week. Be happy, be healthy, be kind to each other. Adios. Goodbye.